this young lady going on a month because last couple weeks I was gone out of town and now I'm back and I get to see my favorite coach again. Good morning, Coach K.
Good morning. Good morning. Did I miss the memo? I love my shades. Mine's a prescription, so I probably could see you, but I can see them glasses.
Hey, these are prescription.
I love my. You know what? I think that the best thing that you can have if you live in the state of Texas, especially, and you wear glasses, are prescription sunglasses. I love them. I
It's,
love them.
it's,
I don't even wear. I have a couple pair of fashion, ones that I wear for fashion, but my ones I wear all the time. That's so I can see and block that sun. I know that's right.
and my wife, my new nickname is Ray because the glasses are dark at the top, and then at the bottom it gets light.
hmm
And I always want some glasses like this and ran across. And she said, "Can you see?" I said, "Yeah, I can see." She said, "I can't see your eyes." I said, "That's the whole idea." So I told her.
But you know what though? That's what a lot of people say. They be like, "Oh, you got your shades on." I'm like, no, I can see. And most of the times, like when you get the prescription sunglasses, they're polarized. So
Yeah.
it may look dark to the person looking at you, but it is lit. You can see, you
Yes.
know. See,
Yes.
it's yeah. I feel you, Ron. Like I
You know.
said, I love my prescription shades.
So
I love
this,
them. I'm due for a new pair. I can't
yeah,
wait to get a new pair.
this is mine right here. And I said I gotta change the way I've been wearing the same glasses for 10 years, and this is a drastic change for me.
It really is. I didn't know what was going on. I turned on you up there talking about I'm your meat man, something or whatever. I'm like, then I look and you got these glasses on. I'm like,
Yeah, but
what
it's still
happened?
the same eyes up underneath. It's no different. but
Did I
no, we went on our trip and it was refreshed, and we're doing our walking and just trying to stay healthy. I
yeah,
was told when I came back from Atlanta, said you look refreshed. I said I feel refreshed.
yeah.
And you know where we headed out next week to?
Where is that?
Jamaica.
Oh, dang. Can I get in yet? Next week's my birthday. Can I go? I'm dead serious. You see me. I'm pretty small. I can fold up and I know a good suitcase, man. I'll listen. I'll pay the
You
luggage
like,
fee.
girl, you crazy. Yeah. So that's gonna be a interesting trip going on. So I'm just going and I told myself I'm not eating no American food, American restaurant. I'm gonna try their food,
Yeah,
and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try their food. See how the culture is, and that's what I'm gonna do because it's nice to know you get out there and try something different. And let me tell
yeah,
you something. If it's nasty, I'm not gonna finish it. But
yeah.
I gotta learn how to acquire that taste.
Yeah, yeah. I like you said, it's certain foods, ethnic foods that I just don't. You know what I mean? I'm like, it's just not my jam. I've tried it, or I'm not gonna lie. For me, it has to look right and it has to smell right.
There you go.
If I, it's been some dishes I haven't tried on site alone. I
Mhm.
can't even lie. People say, "Oh, try it." Listen, that works for you. I no.
but
It
no, no,
all has to come together
but
for
you
me.
know what's funny? I try African food. It's acquired taste. I kind of
It
sort of
is.
like some of it. But then when somebody asks me, "Have you tried it?" I say, "Yeah, but I don't like it." You haven't
Mhm.
tried the way I cook. I said, "Trust me. I don't care if you cook it, flipped it, fried it, dyed it. I'm not gonna like it."
I get it. I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I mean, I don't know, especially when you're doing like a certain type of food. You know what I mean? So I mean, because you may have your different spin on it, but it's still the same dish. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you tried the dish and you're like, nah, it's the dish itself. Yeah, nah, I'm with you.
You know what?
And actually, that's what I wanted to talk about, dishing it out. Psych, I'm sorry, yeah, it wasn't.
I'm glad you
But
said that because I'm gonna say one thing. I'm gonna let you continue. What I don't like is when somebody fix your plate, they put everything on, they load it up, and I said I just need a little bit of everything. And they come back, the plates piled this high. I said, and then you eat it and it's not so good, and you trying to figure out how can I dispose of this without pissing somebody off.
well, that's when you just supposed to be like, "Woo, I'm so full," and take it home and chuck it on the way.
Yeah.
Give it to the cats and the dogs out in the alley. Well, I don't even know if we have alleys
Yeah,
here.
you know, and if the cats and dogs run away from it,
Not
I'm
good.
just
You know
saying.
what? No. It's funny that you said that because my friend he said he bought a sandwich or something or whatever from this place by his job, and they've been messing up, hitting and missing, had some different ownership and so forth. He said, and he always is feeding the birds and crap, and he said it was so bad, even the birds didn't want to eat it. I was like,
Oh, that is sad. So, but
so yeah, I mean, if it's one of them type dishes, you might as well just skip the birds, go straight to the trash.
there you go. There you go.
Yeah, that thing.
Like
And like, go ahead.
go. So we missed you last couple of weeks,
I've
and
been here.
I know you've been here, but I've been doing and doing some crazy. I'm not really crazy. I've just been busy.
Yeah,
And
you always busy.
oh man, I did 3 events in 3 days last. No, 4 in 3 days last week. And when I finally got home, my wife looked at me and said, "Look here, woman." I said, "I'm gonna load my truck," and I'm sitting in my office chair, and I dozed off. I had one of those hard naps, and but I'm ready to keep on doing things, and
I mean, of course, you about to go to Jamaica. So what are you complaining for?
yeah, you're right about that. I will think about you when I'm there.
You know, I honestly and truly am going to live vicariously through you, because I tell you, if I could have got away, if I could have took a vacation, Lord knows, you'd be just looking at this chair right now.
Ooh, and if the chair talk back to me, then we're gonna have a good conversation.
Well, I mean, I would have arranged something. Maybe, I could have had a little audio. Maybe I
Yeah.
could have dialed in.
Yes.
Or I could have did this whole show from the beach. Yeah. You know?
That's a thought.
Hey, let me tell you. I remember back in the day, it seems like, when I used to travel. Yes. It's one thing about being in this new technology age or so forth. You
Yeah.
can work from anywhere, right? Long as you have a phone or some internet or something, you can
Exactly.
make it happen. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm living vicariously through you.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, regardless, again,
Yeah.
you're going on vacation. So
You
that's
know what?
enough for me.
You know how many years it's been since I've done this?
You just went on vacation. You went to Hawaii last year, right?
That was a work vacation.
Oh, okay. Well,
This is
didn't
this is a
vacation still?
this is a
Let me
non.
say, like, was vacation
Yeah.
still in the
Well,
time?
you're right about that. You know what? I leave it up to my wife because she see my calendar and she sees some openings. She be booking stuff in there. What are you doing this Friday? I said, no. What are we going to do this Friday?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
What do you have planned?
That's right.
Because I'm just
That's right.
going. I'm just a participant. I'm just going.
Hey, listen. Just make sure show up with a vehicle to take me in and a wallet to pay with.
Oh,
I'm
that
with it.
point. That's a good
That's right.
point. That's a good
That's
point.
right. That's
So
right. That's what we want. That's what we want. We don't play no games.
I
We don't
know,
play.
I know.
I will do my part. I will
Sharon.
show up. I will show up gorgeous and in a great mood.
I can,
Ready.
I can see you. You be the life of the party, Coach K. Because I watch you. You are something else. You get out there and you not afraid to get out there and speak your mind, and that's what people like about you. You know.
Appreciate that. Do. Like you said, I don't say everything that I I don't say everything that I want to say.
Okay.
However, I do try and give you the meat and potatoes of it if I can,
Yes.
like that part. Which,
Yeah.
speaking of meat and potatoes, so meat and potatoes. So I had posted this clip um, on like my story, and it was about it was an interview of a doctor talking about Ozempic, right? So it was funny because, like I said, it just seems like sometimes, especially when it's a recurring conversation,
Hmm.
right? It makes me it reminds me of certain things. So I know I've spoke about it before, but I want to talk about it.
Okay.
So um I put this post up about the doctor talking about Ozempic, but I was already wanting to talk about it because I want to reiterate what I have already said about people using these GLP-1s, weight loss drugs, or so forth, because you have to do, if you're going to do it, you got to do it right. You have to do it right. Okay. So, story client yesterday, he says, Coach man, I went to my doctor and I'm up 4 pounds. I said, whoa, okay. Well, I always give the disclaimer that scales are calibrated differently. If y'all hear me in this crowd, in this audience, remember, scales are calibrated differently. So if you are marking your weight loss or gain, use the same scale.
Mm.
So if you go to the doctors, come home and get on your scale so you know where you're at so you can track it. Okay. But anyway, so he says, up 4 pounds. And I said this, and he said, well, no. He said, I came and got on my scale at home, and sure enough, right? So I was like, okay, well, what's the issue? And he was like, I mean, I've been eating. I'm like, have you been eating, like you would normally eat? And he was like, you can't be on you can't be on the weight loss drugs and keep up the same habits because he hadn't injected in a couple of weeks. So fast forward to the post that I posted this morning. The doctor said, and I'm glad that I saw this before I came on here, so it gave me the verbiage that I wanted to relay. The cues. So the drug, the GLP-1s, the weight loss drugs, they suppress the cues that you're hungry. They don't give it to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, I've already ate. I've already had these things. So when you do eat, right? Hopefully you're eating the right things. But when you do eat, of course you're not eating that much. And you're probably only eating because you're like, I know I'm supposed to eat. You know what I mean? So with that, he hadn't injected himself. So he wasn't getting that. So he went back to the same habits, gained 4 pounds,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
if 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 you don't change your habits, if you don't use it for the tool that it is supposed to be, that is a tool. If you have diabetes, it is a tool to help you manage your sugar level, right? Your glucose levels. If if you are using it for weight loss, it is to control your appetite. You still have to build the right habits, though. You still have to make sure that you get in the right foods, that you get in the exercise, that you are doing the things. You have to do the things, or what? Stay on it forever. And if you stay on it forever, we don't know what that looks like
Right.
at the moment. So what are we doing here? You know, I need I so I want to. I said, well, maybe I need to explain it in a more extensive way. Protein, protein. So in in the video I posted, and he said that the same GLP-1s, right? That is something that is a hormone or so forth that is in there so that it says, hey, I've ate. Hey, I'm full. Well, you get the same thing from protein. That's why even if you're a vegetarian, because you still got to get in a good amount of protein, you just have to find your other sources. But that is why eating the correct amount of protein. I mean, some, like you said, you may need to go to a dietitian and sit down with them and explain what your goals are, what your habits are, and what you're trying to achieve to know the right number. But most people don't eat enough protein. They don't. Some people eat too much. Some people don't eat clean or lean protein. They're eating the wrong types. But protein can give you the same feeling of full, right? And that's what you want. So if you are using these weight loss drugs, make sure that you focus on getting in lean protein. You may not be hungry all the time. Remember, you're taking the injection, right? So my suggestion to you is schedule it. Put it on your calendar. I eat lunch at this time. So I'm going to have lunch at this time. I may or may not be extra hungry at this time, but I'm going to have protein. And of course, I'm not going to leave out no veggies because you need the vegetables or so forth, to get your fiber and to make things move along. You hear me? So with that, you pretty much, like you said, you're setting yourself up for healthy habits for when you go off of the weight loss drugs. Majority of people who stop the weight loss drugs gain it back. Surprise!
Yep.
Come on. You have to build the habit. So you're on your weight loss drugs and you're seeing, okay, well, the weight is coming off because, you're not hungry, you're not eating as much. Because the thing is, those hunger cues are being suppressed, right, with the GLP-1s. So it's like, all right, now when the hunger comes, there's nothing to say, hey, I've ate. Hey, I don't want to eat too much. There's nothing there. So you had to build that. You have to build it. All right, well, I was eating, excuse me, you were eating XYZ. And, now I notice I only need X and Z. I really don't need Y. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
However, I've built these healthy habits. I have started to see the weight loss come down, and personally, I've talked about this as well. You better work out. You'll be a saggy sack of bones. But this is one of those things I definitely feel passionate about. But I encourage you, if you've seen, if the weight loss drugs are working for you, and you're like, okay, well, this is what I needed, because I know for a fact sometimes you just physically, it's like I really, it's really hard to do. I had a whole breast reduction because I was like, man, my back, I can't do it. I can't work out like I want. I can't do the things. So I get it, no problem. If that's what it is, cool. But once you get to a point where it's like, okay, you've got kind of like that jump start, and you've relieved, because keep in mind, for every pound that you lose about 5 pounds of pressure off your joints.
Mm-hmm.
So when you come down a couple pounds, few pounds, several pounds, put it on your calendar. I'm going to sit in my chair and I'm going to do the couch potato workout. I forgot to put the other one on there, but I'll put that on there. But I'm going to do my whatever chair workout. I'm going to sit here and shadow box in my chair for 5 minutes, whatever it is. Start building the habits. Start building the habits. You don't want to be in the statistic of you've gained it back, because what is that? That is losing weight. What does Coach K want you to do? Get rid of weight.
Mm-hmm.
I probably, my girlfriend, she said, she said you are an expert. She said not only did you lose weight, but you've kept it off for X amount of years, and she's right. I did gain. I remember I went through I went and had a desk job and all this. I let life win. I let life win. And I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing. And I think I probably gained about like 30 pounds, I remember. And I was like, hold up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that honestly and truly was the last time. If anything, it may be, I if I get to 10 pounds, that's not usually, And I only say that because this whole perimenopause crap is kind of the devil. So it makes it's making it a little tricky for me to figure out the right formula for me right now, because remember, it will change, right? Things do change.
Yeah.
So yeah, but when she said that, and I said, I may have like, maybe I definitely didn't take pictures, okay? I did not take pictures like that, but I do have like a few of them. I said I was going to go find one day, and just as a reminder of what not to do. What not to do. But yeah, like you said, it's a difference in losing weight and getting rid of weight. And if you're going to use that as a tool, you better get rid of weight in your mindset instead of losing weight, because you're going to gain it back. It's going to come back.
Yeah.
Use the tools afforded to you. Like you said, they got all this AI stuff. Tell it, hey, I want to, a schedule where I eat lunch at this time and work out at this time and so forth, whatever. And then, set reminders, whatever it is that you need to do. Like I said, protein naturally is what tells our bodies I am getting full. If you find yourself snacking, if you find yourself snacking a lot, just increase the amount of protein that you eat. It'll help that.
Yeah.
It'll help that. It'll curb some of those cravings. Because remember, that is what the weight loss drugs do. It hides those cravings. It contains those cravings. So yes, that is my public service announcement. If you're gonna do it right.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do it right, please. Now, don't be in these statistics with people talking about you. We saw you in March, and you was super fine. Then we seen you in July, and you're back to where you look like you ate that person. So come on, do it. If you're gonna do it right.
And you know what? You brought something up, and I went on it and typed in AI, how to lose 30 pounds in 3 months, and it's got a 12-week program. What to eat, when to exercise, food to stay away from. It's too easy. It's telling you right now.
Now I you're now I'm a say something about that though. You're right. It is too easy. However, that is something that you still have to be self motivated to do.
Exactly.
Right. So if these are my suggestions for the folks that are wanting to continue on. If you're already paying for the weight loss drugs, you know, don't throw away your money.
Mm-hmm.
Ron just put in, like you said, and the little search thing, and here you go. You got
Mm-hmm.
what you say, a 12-week plan. And
Exactly.
you could take that same 12-week plan, right? And this is kind of a shameless plug, but you could take that same 12-week plan and sign up for my accountability program. Share the plan with me, and I check up on you. Are you doing these things? Have you
Yes.
doing those things? That right there, you got the plan for free. You're paying for however much the drugs. My program is $100 a month. I mean, to get to where you want to be, I say it's worth it.
Mm.
Accountability goes a long way.
Yeah.
If you're holding yourself accountable and you're able to do that, then good. However, we all struggle in certain areas to
Mm-hmm.
hold ourselves accountable, right? Sometimes you got to reach out. I need help.
Yep.
If that's what you need, then do it. You've already reached out and said you need help. I hope that you did, and they didn't just try to push you on it, because that's a whole nother topic
Yeah, that's
about them
true.
pushing them on you. However, if you reached out because you genuinely said, I need help, I need a aid to help me get to my goal, then don't waste your money.
Mm.
If you're going to do it right.
That is so true.
Remember,
Yeah.
build the habits that you can live with. Because unless you're living with injecting yourself with the
Oh.
GLP-1s every week or whatever, then I guess that's the habit.
Yep.
I don't know. Just
So
say it.
let me ask you something. Still about that, about being hydrated with summertime coming up.
That's
I
right.
I read something. Um, One guy said water's good, all that, electrolytes, all that is good. But he said if you eat your fair portion of veggies and fruit, you just have to go through all the stuff because that's naturally hydrating you. Now,
Yeah.
I just heard about it. Is that something true?
That is very true. That is very true. Um, um, that's why people who they say, "Well, I eat my water," right? I've heard. I don't know if you ever. But some people will say that because they're like, they like watermelon, or like they eat, like you said, they eat fruits, especially in the summertime, fruit salads and so forth. A lot of people say that, but it is true. Fruits and vegetables have a not extreme amount, but a fair amount of water in them already, and the vitamins, and combined with the absorbing it into your system. Yeah, definitely a hydrating properties.
No,
hmm
that's
I
that.
think that everybody personally, should definitely make sure that they eat more vegetables than fruit. Now, I just got to throw that out there. I do understand that fruit is better, as far as taste wise sometimes, and
Mm,
it's easier a lot of times, right? To grab, it's easier to grab a piece of fruit, you
yeah.
know but it could be that easy to grab some veggies on the go. My jam is celery and my little Greek yogurt that I on the go.
Yep.
So it just is pick what you want. However, I tell you this: if as long as you are eating those fruits and veggies or so forth, and no matter what the equation is, it's better than not eating.
That's true. You know what I ran across out of town?
Hmm.
Everybody know I love asparagus and broccolini, and I eat all that. But the asparagus I ran out of town was the most thickest asparagus I ever seen. And it wasn't the skinny ones that you see at our local stores. This
Hmm.
looked like it was homegrown and stayed in the ground forever. But
Hmm.
and when they cooked it, they did a little olive oil on it, and they put it on the grill, and
Yeah.
it came back. It was so juicy. I
Yeah, I
said
love
that
it.
was the best asparagus I ever had. So you know what I've
Mm.
been doing? I've been going around looking at all these stores, see if they have. They got the skinny
Well,
ones, not the thick one.
the it just depends because it's just a different type of asparagus.
Yeah,
Have you mm, I feel like I see them from time to time in like Trader Joe's,
yeah,
from time to time, and depending on, and I'm not sure what season. So those are also at a certain season. I have asparagus out there now. Like you said, some of them are thin, some are a little thicker. Coming in, but yeah, it just depends. It just depends. But isn't it nice though? Isn't it nice to have? I feel like it is to have like a vegetable that is your jam.
yes,
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I am so happy that I have things that I like that are good for me, that are my jam.
yes,
Like I said, right now I am on celery and Greek yogurt dip. What am I doing? I'm eating celery, I'm eating vegetables and protein.
mm-hmm,
That's my jam right now. The crunch, the crunch is
yeah,
like, okay, that, you know what I mean? Um, Personally, like I love green beans. I can just eat green beans. Like I don't, I love green beans. A good salad, like I was making strawberry field salads last week. Man, my jam. So, moral of the story, man, find some vegetables that y'all like, that
yep.
are your jam, so that way, and please don't let it come from a can. And that's all I'm gonna say on that.
You're right.
Don't come from a can. If you can, because keep in mind that when we cook our vegetables, a lot of times we are cooking out all the nutrients.
Mm-hmm.
So if it starts off bright and it goes dull, know that it doesn't have all the nutritious value that you think it does.
Yeah.
Okay, so just saying on that. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I enjoy my my veggies. Before I even start talking to you, I was eating my veggies, but you make me eat them more. You say, Ron, you eat your veggies, and every meal I make sure I got my veggies with me, and so see, like I said, it's a habit you have to develop,
That's right.
and that's the key is
That's
you
right.
got to want it's you don't need nobody to do intervention on you. You have to do
Mhm.
it because you're ready to do it. And
Mhm.
I think that's what some people make a mistake. They wait for somebody to tell them something, and then they get upset. Well, why you tell me to do it? I'm grown. I can do it. Well, you haven't been doing it,
Mm.
you know. So it's just like my wife. She said, "Are we going to the gym tomorrow?" I said, "Only if you want to." I
Yeah.
said, "But I worked out in the yard, but I'll go." you know, I'll go. I'm not arguing about it because that's a good habit we're developing at least 2, 3 times a week going to the gym.
Yes.
That's something
Yes.
that we develop. And she reminds me, hey, babe, we ain't been to the gym a couple of days. I said, okay, let's go. I'll drop
That's
what I'm
good.
doing and go there for an hour to do what we need to do it, and I'm good.
But that's what I'm saying. That's that accountability. That's y'all holding each other accountable. And that's great. We like the healthy habits, the good habits,
Mm-hmm.
it's cool. Like you say, y'all go on vacation, you like to go and do certain things or so forth. But having healthy habits together, that's what's up. Church,
Yeah.
whatever. Healthy habits, gym, walking, like you said.
Yep.
One of the things that I can say that I can say when I was married, I did like when we did it for years, and after dinner we would take a walk. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I think that that is a very good habit to have. One, it gets you up and moving. Two, you usually communicating during that time, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, just healthy habits to help you get to wherever it is, whatever the goal is. In this instance, like I said, I'm speaking about the weight loss drugs because I,
Mm-hmm.
I just, I just don't and this is another thing. Anybody who truly knows me knows I can't. I do not like wasting my money. I love a deal. I like. I am very strategic sometimes. Sometimes not. Most of the times, yes. Right.
yeah.
And what sense does it make to me? It's like you are paying for these weight loss drugs and you're not using them appropriately.
That part.
You're not building the healthy habits. You take them every once in a while or whatever, and and you're still gaining or whatever the case may be, you know. But that's your money.
Mm-hmm.
That's your money. And if that's the case, you might as well keep it and use it towards something else. If
Yep.
that's not what, like you said, if you're not ready. You know, I tell people like one of my clients, she said, so she's in a booth, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she said, when you said, all right, well, I'll see you next week. I just got one of my clients just got out of her boot or whatever. She was like, dang. She was like, I knew it. I was like, yeah, no excuses. Like, stop it. That's what my job is. That is what it is.
yeah.
It is to hold you accountable and to call you on your BS. What is wrong with the rest of your body? It's just your foot.
that's
So, that's
yeah.
build the healthy habits.
What's funny? Uh,
Mm,
I had something I haven't had in years,
mm,
and it's not exactly good for you. It's not bad. I just wanted it, and my
okay.
wife said, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm gonna eat this." Well, why are you gonna eat that? Because I want it. She said, "How you gonna eat that?" I said, "One bite at a time." You know, and she said, "You know it's not good for you." I said, Probably not, but I haven't had it in a couple of years, so it won't hurt to have a little bit of it.
That's right.
And she just said, we got to talk about this again. I said, no, well, let me finish eating first, then we can talk about it. I'm going to finish it first. I'm going to eat it first.
What
And
did you have?
chili cheese fries.
Wow. I hadn't had those in years either.
Me neither. And I just
Yeah.
wanted, and it was a small one. It wasn't one
Yeah.
about this big. It was a small
Yeah,
one.
yeah, 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 yeah.
And, and I ate it with pride.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. I mean, honestly and truly, I mean, I am a firm believer in balance. You know,
Mm,
don't take away everything because you know that you're going to have those things that it's going to be a treat. Maybe not every few years, but maybe a couple times a year you have them.
yeah,
Okay.
it isn't every day. Go back to that weight loss drug. When I
Hmm.
was taking it, when it was affordable, before
Yes.
everybody started using it, and went up in price.
Right.
Before I would take mine, my wife would look at me and say, I better eat right now. She said, why is that? Because after I take this, I'm not going to be hungry. So I better eat right, and I would. And then I'll take it, and I can feel it as it's going along, suppress my appetite. I nibble here and there and all that, but and I knew it. But I was good. But
Mm.
when the price went up, my insurance company told me, oh, we can't pay for this anymore. So they
Yeah.
basically dropped it. But I haven't lost. I don't miss it. Put it that way. I don't miss it because I started doing other things.
Okay.
So I don't miss it. But it seems like now I'm losing weight steadily now more than when I was on it because I changed habits.
Habits. This is what I'm. This is all I'm saying. Again, it's a quote. I can't remember who said it. It said, "We're all just a product of our habits."
Mm,
You know,
yeah.
if you are in the habit of being savvy with your money, if you're in the habit of exercising every day, if you're in the habit of sleeping well at night, if you're in
Mm-hmm.
the habit of reading books, so if you're in the habit of, I don't know, doing drugs, whatever you're in the habits of, you this is you're a product of your habits.
Mm-hmm.
So doing the having the GLP-1s is no different. It's just now you're in the habit of taking it, but that's the only habit that you're building.
Yeah.
You know, if that's the only habit that you're building, then you're going to lose weight, not get rid of weight.
Yeah. That
Facts.
is the difference.
It
And
should. Yeah,
yeah.
it is. Yeah, it is.
Then then
Yeah,
I
it is.
then I got somebody that says that she's not competitive. And when we on the treadmill, the bikes, whatever we on, mine is steady. Next, I'm up to a mile. She said, you already a mile already? I'm gonna beat you. She be moving. She be moving. I'm sitting there just looking at her. I said, slow and steady. Slow and steady. But she says she's not competitive, but she is, which is a good thing.
Mm.
I love it. And then I don't brag about I whooped your butt. I said, how many miles you do? She said, oh, that's good. I see you moved up a half a mile from last time around. But on the other hand, you just said that because you want to beat me. I said, no, it doesn't bother me a bit. If I do 1 mile, you do two. But and that's another thing. She competitive. So now I said, you want to be competitive? Okay, I'll compete with you if that's what you want. If that's what you want, which is something good because even though being competitive with your partner or with your friend or anything, you pushing each other.
Yeah. Again, the accountability.
Mm-hmm.
You show up, I show up. We show up together. I have a girlfriend. We've been friends for I don't know, almost 30 years at this point, and she always tells the story of when we lived, because uh, we haven't lived in the same place since when we met almost 30 years ago. So she always tells the story of, now this is when I had this is when the pictures started not being taken, because I'm gaining weight at this point. Okay, so I would be like, hey, I'm gonna drop the kids off, let's go to the gym. And I would come back, and she's still in the bed. I go, get your ass out of bed, let's go. This is what we're doing, you know. And I didn't know, but she was training me for what I eventually ended up doing, because it didn't deter me. I would leave. I didn't care. I'd be like, all right, bye. And I go on about my business and do my thing, you
Mhm.
know. Um, and I realized that, like you said, accountability and someone pushing you, somebody behind you, it may be that you need a cheerleader, whatever it is.
Yeah,
But it's okay if you need any of those things. Is the
that's
point.
true.
Just build the healthy habits. If you're going to do it, do it, do it right.
That's right.
Do it right.
Now, let's go back to that weight loss drug.
Hmm.
Um, there are no long range forecasts on what it does to the body.
No,
We,
not
we,
right
we
now.
already know about. I read upon some things about it, especially in women, that if you keep on taking those drugs, it could make you sterile down the line. That's what they were saying.
Mm.
That they were saying that they don't have positive truth on, but that they're like not forecasting it, but just saying that they look at the effects on the animals that they tested on. And so
Mm.
the long term effect, nobody knows. We won't know until 10, 20 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
And then when something comes up,
Mm-hmm.
they could trace it back to the weight loss drug. So, so,
Mm-hmm.
so that's one thing I'll advise everybody on before, even though a doctor going to do it, do your research on it first.
Yeah. 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 And I mean, I've had clients that have done well on it. And I've had clients that have not,
Mm-hmm.
meaning they had headaches and nausea and all types of things. So they're not for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, again, you see all of the commercials and so forth that they have, promoting them with different celebrities and so forth. Still, Google works,
Mm-hmm.
look it up. Look it up. If you see, one of my clients, he said his shoulder was bothering him, and he went and he looked online and looked up some things, and he was saying that when it came to like the rotator cuff, he said they had found that it really, like it was kind of like a repetitive thing, because it never really, it uh, wasn't able to really be rehab. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? It was just like put a
Yeah.
band-aid on it for a little bit. Oh, then you gotta come back, put a band-aid on it. So he told his doctor, no, I'm not interested in that. And again, but he went, he did his research, and he made his decision. I think that's great. One of my clients, she gave, and it's funny because I have a 5-year question of the day journal, and it's that particular day. The question was, "What is the best compliment that someone had given you recently?" Right? And I remember when I saw it, I was like, "Oh, I'll come back to it," because I was like, really can't think of anything. It's whatever. But then I thought about her saying, now, I got my P Word podcast dropping May
Yes.
22nd. But anyway,
Yes.
so very excited about that because, again, it's women's health. I do my wellness series, and, I do not focus on women's health specifically in that series. So
Mm.
I needed to make sure that it was a platform for it because I'm a woman, you know. I, just
Yeah.
saying, just saying. But with that, she told me now she was having a lot of issues, hormonal issues, female issues. And I would listen to her. And this is during, I have started my wellness series, and I've been in the rooms. I'm taking in the information. I too am learning from these people as they speak. And I told her, once she was talking, I said, you have to advocate for yourself. I said, your doctor isn't listening to you. I was like, if one thing I have learned from this series is find a provider that listens. If you
Mm-hmm.
find that you are repeating yourself and beating a dead horse, find another horse, you know? And she said, I want to thank you. She said, because if it wasn't for you constantly beating it in my head that you need to look for other opinions. Like, I'm not, like, I don't think that, this person is real, has your best interest at heart.
Yeah.
And when and that was the best compliment that I had received recently. And
Yeah.
I appreciate that because, like I said, it's just what I feel like I'm supposed to do. You
Yeah.
know, again, you get the information to the people, you know, however you get it in large crowds or individually. However, my job is to get the information to the people, you know, and then if you come to me because you're trying to get your waistline in order, that's a different matter. But
Yeah.
that's where we talk. But yes, I was very appreciative of that. And I want to, like you said, I just want to encourage everybody, even with these weight loss drugs. If you are, and because my one of my clients that was on them and came off of them, she had to come off of them. She was communicating with her doctor, and they would say, well, this, and finally she just stopped taking it.
Mm.
She did, so if you are in the situation where you think they're helpful, maybe you think that maybe you're in a situation where they were suggested, but you're not sure if you really even need that. You know
Right.
what I mean? It's okay to ask for another opinion. So okay.
Exactly.
And it's so okay. You want to be, if that's like you said, and if you do need them and you are using them, use them right. Do it right. Do it right. Build the healthy habits so that you get rid of weight, not lose
Lose it.
weight. That's my public service announcement.
Love your public service announcement. All right, young lady. In closing, how can people get a hold of you and all that good stuff?
Man, y'all find me on the socials. I don't know where I am. Miss Wanna Go Fit. I got Coach K. I got go to my website though, wannagofit.com. That's where you'll find me. I'm all around there. And like I said, the P word drops on YouTube. Super excited about that. My perimenopause, postmenopause um, podcast. I'm very excited about it. I'm recording the next episode Sunday. I have Dr. Troy. She's a OBGYN. She's going to be my second guest, and we're going to get into some things there. So, like I said, my job is to bring the information to the people. You, sir, also are on my to-do list, have been on my to-do list. uh, I'm gonna text you, call you something.
Okay.
Mental note.
No problem. No problem. All right, Coach K. Like always, it's a pleasure having you on. And we've been doing some things together. We continue to do things together.
That's right. We got some things. We got
Yeah,
karaoke coming up. That's what I guess I just gotta. It made me think of it. The reason why I didn't put it out because I said I'm gonna make sure I let you know first. So
yeah.
got that. Do hitting you
There,
up.
there you go.
But yeah, karaoke line dance parties in the
That's
summer.
right. It's coming
Yeah,
your way.
yeah,
So,
I'm ready. I'm ready. I
yep.
had crashed my well, not me and my friend had crashed a birthday party uh a couple weeks ago. I had to get on the mic. They was like, who is she?
I'm gonna say something before we leave. I was doing karaoke at this barbecue place a couple years ago. Here come this lady in yellow. Don't ask how I remember you was in yellow. But she came up in yellow. She turned. Everybody looked around and said, "Who's that?" I said, "That's Coach K. Y'all in for a treat."
Mm-hmm.
And Coach
Mm-hmm.
K came in there. She came and she left, and they still trying to figure out who was that woman.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's my MO. That's how I roll. That's how I roll. I
Yep,
show up, I show out, and then I dip.
yep. Coach K has left the building.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Well, you enjoy your trip, Ron. Like I
Okay.
said, if you change your mind and want, just put me in your suitcase or something, it's cool. Let me know.
I sure will. All right, you take care, young lady.
All right. Have a good day, guys.
All right. All right, everybody. That is our favorite coach, Coach K, here on
Recording
WSAN
stopped.
Radio. And hey, y'all just tune in this evening at 5 p.m. We will have Bobby McMorris on. So he'll be on and he'll be talking about his play that he had on Mother's Day. Until then,